Hi there, it's Mr. Adams here, a mathematics teacher with over 20 years of experience. In the course of researching crypto, I have encountered many arguments that people are pro-crypto, and one of them is this idea that there will be this one crypto that will end up beating all the others that will be taken on by the world. And so in this video, I want to explain why that basically can't happen. There's no disguising the fact that I'm old. I'm old enough to remember that back in the early 2000s, there were all sorts of search engines like Ask Jeeves, Yahoo, Excite, and my personal favorite at the time was Dogpile. Now, Google dominates over 90% of the market, well, at least according to my Google search. Technology tends to monopolise. We've got the top 3 mobile phone companies control 90% of the market. The top 3 laptop companies control 85% of the market. We have 90% of the advanced semiconductors made in just one country, which is Taiwan. Android and Mac control effectively all phone operating systems, and Windows and Mac control about 85% of the market. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency, so effectively it had 100% of a very small market share. It then dropped below 50% as new currencies came in, but it is now back over 60%. This rebound of Bitcoin is actually counterintuitive and not what you would expect. Bitcoin is not the currency that we expect to win because it uses as much energy as a medium-sized country to run. A winning crypto surely would be run more effectively. So this suggests that the crypto market at the moment is still running irrationally. If Bitcoin is going to monopolize the market, barriers are the key. Let's use the example of semiconductors. After the supply was interrupted due to COVID, countries wanted to maintain their own supply. But they found that building the high-tech factories and the skilled labour that they needed was actually a considerable barrier. On the other hand, with crypto, anyone can create their own cryptocurrency and put it out to the world. Let's revisit El Salvador again. It adopted Bitcoin in 2021, but it didn't replace the US dollar, which can still be used. Despite the rise in value of Bitcoin, like since 2021, it hasn't been a success in this country. If we go to the US now, Bitcoin is now seen as a strategic reserve. Now, there isn't enough time to see whether this is going to be a success or not, or if the next government will reaffirm this policy. It would be fair to say that enthusiasm by countries to take on crypto as a currency is very limited at this stage. And for very good reason. Crypto is still too volatile. Countries need a stable currency to make future and long-term plans. Electronic transfers are already available, so a country can easily transfer money internationally or between banks. But more importantly, countries want to control their currency. When a country's currency devaluates, it allows them to export more materials at a cheaper price. In other words, it makes them more competitive. You can't do this if you're pegged to a global currency. Crypto technology is available, which means that a country can already create its own crypto. They don't have to buy out an existing currency, which would be very expensive. They can also make sure that that currency that they create is secure and they've got control over it. If we go to the Eurozone, we find that there are advantages for a common currency across a range of countries. However, Bulgaria, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Hungary, Poland, Romania and Sweden are all Eurozone countries, but they don't use the euro. The UK didn't use it either when they were part of it. So this suggests that creating a common currency across a range of countries is actually quite a difficult prospect. So in conclusion, the crypto that you buy is very unlikely to be widely adopted. This is because there is no incentive for a country to take it on. That's not to say that the technology or the idea is bad, it's just that they will probably just do their own thing. Technology has a history of converging on winners. This is largely because of the high barriers of joining after companies have got a head start. Crypto has a low barrier for entry and will always face competition. Creating a currency that is adopted by multiple countries is extremely difficult. It comes with advantages and disadvantages. It is likely that a group of countries will buy out existing currency when they could just create their own if they want. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. Please leave a review and a comment. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a mathematics teacher with a passion for teaching financial literacy. Please read the disclaimer.